Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Listen, if you're planning a trip to Japan anytime soon, or even if you're just dreaming about one, you are in the absolute perfect place today, because we are completely ditching the typical souvenir lists. We're going to forget the expensive kimonos, the traditional folding fans, and yes, even the beloved matcha chocolate, just for a second. Instead, we're taking a look at what foreign tourists are actually packing into their overflowing suitcases right now. We're going to uncover some unbelievable, highly specific, and honestly wildly practical items that you're absolutely going to want to hunt down on your own trick. All right, let's dive into this.
So let me hook you right out of the gate with this really wild little story from our research. A Canadian couple was enjoying a trip without their kids, just doing some shopping in Kappabashi. And if you don't know it, that's Tokyo's famous kitchenware district. It's literally the place where real restaurant owners go to buy all their supplies. Now, when they were asked what their absolute favorite #1 souvenir of their entire trip was, what do you think they said? Some gorgeous handmade chef's knife? Beautiful traditional ceramics?
The answer is a simple restaurant water pitcher. Yeah, seriously. One of those standard, plastic, condensation-covered pitchers you see sitting on the table at casual ramen joints or family restaurants all across Japan. They spent a good chunk of their precious souvenir budget on professional restaurant hardware, and this plastic pitcher was their ultimate treasure. Now, why on earth would they buy that?
Well, the reason makes total sense when you hear what they said. They told us, "I can't believe water is free and unlimited in Japan." In Canada or in a lot of places across Europe and the US, getting a massive pitcher of ice water placed at your table for free without even having to ask for it is just not the standard experience. So this pitcher, to them, isn't just a piece of plastic. It's a physical, everyday reminder of the incredible, unprompted hospitality they experienced every single time they sat down to eat in Japan.
Which brings us to Section 1, Unexpected Real Japanese Souvenirs.
See, we really need to completely rethink our approach to shopping in Japan. The old expectations were all about high culture, right? The expensive fans, the high-end wagashi sweets, the silk kimonos, but the new reality, it is hyper-practical, it's micro-obsessive, and it's deeply, deeply rooted in everyday Japanese life. I mean, we're seeing tourists actively hunting down train-hanging straps, those restaurant water pitchers we just talked about, and beautifully engineered gel pens. It's this massive shift from buying expensive showpieces to finding items that seamlessly fit right into a tourist's real life back home.
Moving on to Section 2, Taking Home Omotenashi Culture.
So omotenashi, that's the Japanese concept of wholehearted hospitality. And tourists are finding incredibly creative ways to actually package that feeling right into their luggage. Souvenirs are becoming vessels for those feelings. We already mentioned Kappabashi and the water pitcher, but check out this amazing example from a Swedish tourist. He bought a small, white, beautifully crafted soy sauce dish. But it's not just a dish. When you pour dark soy sauce into it, the meticulously carved ridges at the bottom gradually reveal this stunning, three-dimensional image of an inverted Mount Fuji. It's like a tiny hidden piece of art that only shows up when you actually use it. That element of surprise, that quiet dedication to making a really simple meal beautiful, that is omotenashi. And tourists want to recreate that exact experience at their own dining tables back home.
All right, Section 3, Secrets of Yamanote Line Merch.
If you've been to Tokyo, you've ridden the Yamanote line. It's that iconic green loop line connecting major hubs like Shinjuku and Shibuya. Just look at this number, 3 million. That's the number of passengers the Yamanote line carries every single day. It is the absolute lifeblood of Tokyo. But here's the crazy part. Tourists don't just use it, they completely fall in love with it. And why the love? Well, because it's punctual to the exact minute. It's incredibly clean. And the design, that iconic green stripe, the cool retro kanji and hiragana text, it just feels uniquely, wonderfully Japanese. We actually found an Italian couple who waited 2 full years to return to Japan, and guess what? They came back just to buy a specific keychain. What did it do? It played the exact electronic departure melody of Tokyo Station. For them, just hearing that little tune instantly transports them right back to the thrill of navigating the city. But some tourists, they take this transit obsession even further, over in the shops near Akihabara Station, where, by the way, like 70% of the customers are foreigners. One of the most highly coveted items you can find is an authentic Tsurikawa. That's an actual, real-life train hanging strap, exactly like the one swinging around inside the carriages. And this just brilliantly illustrates the creativity of the modern tourist. We heard from a French guy who bought one of these authentic straps, but he didn't just put it on a shelf to look at. Oh no. He said, "I use the train strap for my rock climbing training at home." He literally hung it from his ceiling to do pull-ups.
It's just a perfect blend of this hyper-specific piece of Japanese infrastructure being repurposed for practical, everyday use halfway across the globe.
Which leads us right into Section 4, Best Handy Goods for Travel. Listen, the best Japanese souvenirs aren't always the ones meant for the trip home. Sometimes they're things that instantly upgrade your actual travel experience while you're there. Let's walk through a day in the life of a tourist in the know. Step 1. You're on a flight or a long bullet train ride. You pop on a Mega Rhythm heated eye mask. These things are legendary in Japan. They're lightly scented with lavender or yuzu, and they heat up automatically to soothe your tired travel eyes. Step 2. Back at the hotel, you're journaling about your day using a Muji 6-color gel pen. Muji stationery is world-renowned for its minimalist design and insanely smooth ink, and you get it for a fraction of what you'd pay overseas. Step 3. You're out in the city, the kids are getting restless, so you pull out a sliding pigeon stamp from a variety store like Loft. You just slide it across the paper, and it continuously stamps out 6 different, totally hilarious pigeon designs. These items cost literally just a few dollars, but they add so much joy and comfort to the trip itself.
Next up, Section 5, Surprising Made in Japan Quality.
Honestly, Japan has totally redefined what a cheap souvenir even is. You know, made in Japan used to just mean high-end electronics or luxury cars. But today, for a tourist, it means uncompromising craftsmanship, incredibly high functionality, and really playful creativity, all accessible at jaw-droppingly low price points. You don't need to drop hundreds of dollars to get a little masterpiece. You can literally find them in the stationery aisle or even the snack corner of a local convenience store.
I mean, just look at these examples. At Loft, you can buy what looks like a totally normal, boring cube memo pad. But as you peel off the pages day by day, a delicate, intricately laser-cut 3D model of Kyoto's Kiyomizu-dera temple slowly appears. It's mind-blowing engineering packed into a notepad. Then you've got fruit gummies from the supermarket that use real regional fruit juices. They have a texture so accurate it honestly feels like you're biting into a real grape. You can walk into a 100-yen shop like Daiso and pick up beautiful, traditional patterned chopsticks for about $1 that look like they easily cost 20. Or take a simple Mount Fuji bookmark. One tourist bought one specifically because it rained their whole trip, right into the very last day when Fuji finally peeked through the clouds. That $1 bookmark secured an absolutely priceless memory for them.
And finally, Section 6, the ultimate reward for yourself. The entire philosophy around souvenir shopping is changing right before our eyes. Actually, fun fact, the word souvenir literally comes from the French word for memory. And as our source material brilliantly points out, modern travelers are starting to realize that the best souvenir isn't necessarily a generic box of cookies you pass around the office just out of obligation. It's a for-myself item. It's that train strap you use for rock climbing in your garage. It's a plastic water pitcher that reminds you of how incredible the hospitality was. It's an item that every single time you touch it or look at it back in your home country instantly revives the magic, the sounds, and the very specific feelings of your time in Japan.
So, I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. Forget the standard lists. When you finally make that trip, wander down the kitchenware aisles, explore the hardware sections, get totally lost in a multi-story stationery shop. What highly specific, completely unexpected hidden gem will you squeeze into your suitcase on your next trip to Japan? The treasure hunt is officially on. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy travels!